So I don't need a key for this? How does this work?
Right here.
Oh, the key's already in it?
Turn signals.
Oh, that's odd. I don't use those though, so it's cool. Yeah. Anything I should know about this bike?
Fast.
It's fast. Thanks, Seth Rogen. You just gotta get the laugh. All right. Oh, this is not bad at all. It just. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. No, this is. The turning's real fucky on this. Oh no, 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 no. I can't hear shit. ZX14. Oh no, 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 no. I should not be allowed to ride these kind of bikes, man. You know, I'm not much of a Harley fan, right? Oh, and I don't particularly enjoy Harleys. Not my style, right? But I always said to myself, if I ever bought a Harley, it would be a V-Rod. Oh boy. Now that I think about it, this is realistically the first Harley that I've ever really ridden. Besides my dirt bike, but it's an AMF, it doesn't count. Oh, that sound though. Here we go. Ready for these fancy nines? It's a girl. Her license plate says unicorn. I feel so out of place though. And I'm repping this big old fat Harley. Oh, dude. This bike is just all types of yes. Apparently that's all paint work too. That's not a wrap or anything like that. That's all paint. If I were to ever buy a motorcycle that was a Harley, if I were to ever buy a Harley, it would be a V-Rod. So I decided, since I want to keep things different and have a change of scenery, I rode this all the way to Red Top Mountain to kind of get a better feel for the bike. I have to say, the V-Rod is kind of like the pinnacle of badassery when it comes to Harleys. And I know true Harley riders, quote unquote, are gonna disagree with me, but I'm telling you, man, there's nothing quite like riding something like this, man. Matter of fact, the best way I can kind of acquaint it to is that it feels a lot like the Magna. It's like the Harley version of the Magna, you know, except it's a much bigger version of it, which, you know, obviously more, I don't know, it definitely feels like it's got more power, and I'm sure Harley people will be like, of course it does, Dad, of course it's a V-Rod, it's got more, it's a Harley, of course it's got more than your little Japanese scooter. People really sleep on how quick the Magna is, and I'm telling you, I bet it would be a decently close race up until about 110 miles an hour on this thing. But man, this bike is just, it's ear split. It's a lot like the Magna in the sense that it's loud as dick. It's got a lot of personality, I'll give it that. I think I hopped on this thing with about 3/4 of a tank. I've been riding it now for probably about 20 minutes, and I'm at half a tank. Of course, me and this girl in a Gixxer, we did ride around and kind of goof around for a little bit. She was on what looked like an old school GSX R, like 600 or something like that. It's hard to tell. I don't really know Suzuki that well, so it's hard for me to tell. But man, I tell you what, this thing has been such a pleasure to ride. With bikes like this, they're definitely made for taller people. My legs are completely stretched out, and they're kind of just sitting on the pegs, right? Like I can rest them almost like highway bars and just kind of like do that, but it's not super comfortable. It's a lot like the Magna in the sense that it's, you know, it's got a lot of little things about it. I would actually almost be more comfortable riding with the passenger pegs than the original pegs. So if you're like 5'8" or 5'9", I'd say this bike would probably fit, like anything shorter than 5'8" or 5'9", you probably don't fit well on this type of bike, but it's always worth trying out, man. I got another rider behind me. I'm just stuck behind this truck, which sucks. But nothing looks or feels quite as badass as a V-Rod. It's just got this like the V-Rods and Night Rods just have this weird look to them that just screams badassery. And that's the best way to describe it, you know? I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge Harley fan. And I've got a couple other Harleys lined up to maybe change my opinion on that. This bike just screams badass. Like, that's what this bike is. I was in 6th gear cruising about 60 miles an hour. I twisted the throttle and I was at 90. It just jumps, man. It just likes to pull, man. It's all torque. It's kind of a weird bike, right? Because it's very loud. This has got the Vance & Hines exhaust, I believe. I'll have to get off to confirm that when I get back to the shop. But it's that sound that makes you not want to talk. I don't want to talk about this bike because I want to ride it. I'm enjoying the way this bike feels. I love the way the torque comes in. You know, I just love the way it sounds, and I like the way it feels, and truly, this would be the only Harley that I could ever buy myself. I'm gonna turn around up here. I want to make one more run on Red Top before I head back to the shop, just because I want to get a good feel for this bike. Hey ladies, want to go for a ride? I don't have a helmet, and you guys look like some crackheads, but weird. Oh. Well, it's fast. He's not wrong at all. This brings a whole new meaning to the word fast on a cruiser. This is the type of bike Harley should be making. It makes tons of power. It's got an amazing sound. No BS, you know, it's a dude's bike, man. Like, I understand the want to have a cruiser, and I understand the want to have that big saddlebag, comfortable chair. It will spin. It's got a big tire in the rear. I think it's like a 240 or something in the rear, and it'll spin it. You don't really have a whole lot of lean angle. You know, this isn't a sport bike, but gosh, does it accelerate like it is. It wants to fool you. It's like, hey, I know I look like a big muscle bike, but I promise I can turn a little bit. I swear I've got a little bit of lean to me. It wants to go. It wants to turn. It wants to be a sport bike. It wants to accelerate like a sport bike. Hey, let me play too. And this is for the guy who likes sport bikes but doesn't like the way they look. I am fighting this mirror. I haven't tightened it down. I need to. Well, that's not gonna work, is it? It just wants to lean over. It's like, hey, dude, let's go. You'll know when I need to. You'll know when you're going too far. I've got a peg. You'll scrape it. Don't worry. It's a real punch to the crotch, you know? It's kind of insulting to think that you'd want to ride any other cruiser than this. And I don't know the current model of the V-Rods. You know, I don't know if they still make them. But God, they'd be dumb not to. I'm giving this bike everything I have, and it's taking it like it's a champ, you know? Harleys are notorious for leaking oil and being unreliable, and this thing just wants to go. This bike is heavy. It's not a light bike at all. She definitely ate her oatmeal in the morning, but the way she rides, you'd never know. Oh, it is intoxicating. It is truly intoxicating. You would never know that this bike is a Harley, because it feels like something completely different. Because this thing's got bigger balls than I do. I could have taken that so much quicker. What a ride, man. Whew. That's gonna fix my problems for about the rest of the day. She doesn't really need gas right now. I just want to get off and look at it. Jesus Christ, man. Wow. Whoever gets this bike is going to be lucky. Look how low I was able to get on these Harley Davidson brand tires. And this thing just still had so much more. Just so much more. It's a 240. Wow. I never thought I'd say this, but I am in love with this Harley. You know, I wouldn't trade my Magna for it, but I'd consider it. And that's saying something, because I love my Magna. Well, I gotta say, guys, I never would have thought that I'd like a Harley as much as I do right now, and I take back every bad thing I've ever said about a Harley. It wouldn't be my first choice to take up Blood Mountain or Tail of the Dragon, but I think this bike could easily handle it. I'm upset that I don't get to go park this in my driveway. I truly am. I mean that 100%. I'm pretty salty about it. Well, I'm not gonna show the highway run that I just did because this company wants me to kind of like keep things illegal. But there is no limit to this motorcycle. It is literally unlimited. The power on this bike is unlimited. There is no limit to what this bike will do. It will pull at all speeds. I'm talking about this. All right, let's just put it this way. This speedometer says 150. It'll do every bit of that, I'm sure. But I want to get off of it right now because I will not leave this bike alone ever again. I need to get off this thing. Holy crap. I need to get off this thing and I need to never be on it again. Because I am in absolute love with this thing. I don't want to talk about it. I had to turn my camera off, but I never want to get on that bike again because I will not get off. That is not a Harley. It is some sort of magical. It's not really short person friendly. For me to sit on these pegs, it was definitely a stretch. But if they had some pegs that sat a little farther back, yeah, dude, this would be done.